So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what for me personally are the best tactics I have ever used in any FIFA. Now I know that's a really bold claim for me to say that these are the best tactics given how many tactic videos we do and how many tactics that we believe to be very, very good, especially for the way we like to play. But for us, this tactic is just so good. This combination of the players we have, the tactics, the instructions, and obviously your play style all mesh together to make something so great. And for us, this is the most confident we've ever been using a set of tactics and instructions. We're able to score and create so many chances on a consistent basis without necessarily having the most overpowered players in the game or anything crazy like that. And yet we don't really ever concede too many chances against the very, very best players when we're playing. We might concede the odd chance here or there, but we're just so solid defensively, but yet we're able to concede, very little goals. We're able to, create so many chances. And it's just that combination and that balance is just perfect in this formation right now. So for us, whilst a bold claim, we believe this to be the best set of tactics and instructions that we have ever used. So as always, to show your support, please make sure you hit the like button, make sure that you click that subscribe button, and make sure you turn on those notifications so you know exactly when we release future videos. So of course that formation is the 5-2-1-2, and the reason why we like this formation so much is obviously a back five is great for people who maybe are not the best defensively. I'd say for me, I'm certainly a better attacker than I am a defender. So naturally, I'm going to choose a formation that's going to give me a little bit more protection defensively. But another reason why I love this formation is because I love to attack with wingbacks. I love to get my wingbacks forwards and part of the attack. I don't necessarily like wingers per se, so I prefer to have wingbacks that can get forward and make runs from deep, because that's a lot harder, I think, for people to defend, especially when you get into the final third. So I love attacking with wingbacks. I love watching that in real football. So I've been able to sort of like translate that into FIFA, and that just gives me such good success. And I think because that's how I want to play, and I've set up my team to do so, and it just gives me the ability to play a lot more clear and a lot more, I know how I'm going to play, so it's much easier to play that way. When you have a clear idea of how you want to play, it's much easier to play that way when you're actually playing the games. And then when it comes to the tactics, this is what I actually use for the 5-2-1-2. So it's nothing too complicated, and that's one thing that I do like to do, especially with the tactics. I find, for me personally, I find the instructions are more important than the tactics. I feel like the tactics can overcomplicate things, and I also find that the tactics generally, if you pick certain ones, they tend to override the instructions. You have your instructions that you want to do a certain job, and tactics can override what you want your instructions to do. For example, your players in the box you might set to 7, but you might have your midfielders on balanced and stay on edge of the box. Well, if you've got them on 7, they're going to ignore that and they're going to go forward. So I like to keep the tactics quite simple, and as you've seen, we don't have anything too too complicated. We've got the defensive style on balance, we've got the width on 50, we've got the depth on 60, and that's because I want the fullbacks to be a little bit higher up the pitch. I want the team to be a little bit higher up the pitch, and that's generally for two reasons. Number one, it's much easier to create chances when you're higher up the pitch. Yes, there is that opportunity to get done over the top, but that's why we have the 5 at the back, just so there's less space for people to exploit. But number two, we're very good at holding possession, and we don't really give the ball away. Generally, my stats when playing most games, my possession is anywhere from 57 to maybe 63% by the end of the game. And in terms of pass accuracy, it's generally between about 89 and sort of 94, 95% by the end of the game. So those are some very high stats. So we don't give the ball away very much. So when we don't give the ball away too much, the depth isn't too much of a problem, because people are not going to get too many opportunities to counter us. So when they do get the ball, they generally tend to panic because they think, oh Christ, I've got to make something of this attack, otherwise he's going to have the ball back again. So it just gives us that opportunity to play that higher depth with confidence. And the last thing is the build-up play. We're on long ball, and I really like the long ball again, because I like to get those fullbacks forwards. I like the strikers to run in behind. Just having that combination of the strikers being able to run in behind and the wingers, especially when the midfielders get the ball, the wingbacks, getting forwards, using that long ball, getting over the top, getting in behind the opposing fullback, just creates more space for those midfielders because there's someone running in behind whilst I'm on the ball. So I have that option to play the ball in behind. If he drops up and covers the wing back, I've got plenty of space now to run into, and eventually he's going to have to come and press me. And that's when you have the advantage, because you're always one pass, one step ahead of the opponent. And then last but not least, we have the width on 65. We don't like to have this too wide, because when you have this too wide, yes, I want the wing backs, playing on the touchline, stretching the pitch, horizontally. However, and obviously vertically by running in behind, but you don't want it too wide because it opens up that midfield. And that was a problem I had for a long time with that midfield being too open. And I've really kind of fixed that by not having the offensive width so wide. And then the rest of it, the players in the box on 5, like I said, I want the instructions to dictate. And then the corners on 3, because sometimes I go short and sometimes I do cross it into the box. So before we get into the instructions, if you want to smash the thumbs up button, that would be super helpful. And if you want to ask us any questions, let us know down in the comment section. We'll do our best to answer those as we go forwards. So let's get into the instructions. So moving on to the goalkeeper, of course, starting off as always, we have the keeper on comes for crosses and sweep keeper. Obviously, if you watch a lot of our tactic videos, we do use that for all of them. And the centre backs all on stay back while attacking, but nothing else changed beyond that. Generally, I would find as well, you want your slowest centre back in the middle of the 3. So I find that Smalling is the one who feels the slowest in game, so he's the one that I like to keep in the middle. It's always good to have your quicker centre backs on the outside, just because when the fullbacks get forwards and there is a little bit of space in behind, you want your quickest fullbacks to be able to get out there and deal with any space. And then moving on to those wing backs, we've got Bale at left wing back and we've got Vanderson at right wing back. Now, as you can see, we've got quite offensive players in that wing back slot. And the reason why we have that is because the main job of these fullbacks is to get forwards, support the attack, create runs in behind, link up with the midfield. So I don't want traditional fullbacks. I like to have sort of wingers or attacking sort of wide players in that position, because yes, they have to get in and defend, but generally they just need to be a body. They don't actually need to be able to defend too well, because most of the time I have the ball anyway, so I don't need proper defensive fullbacks. If you're in that situation as well, it's really good to have sort of attacking wing backs, attacking wingers in this position. You don't need traditional fullbacks. Then moving on into the 2 central midfielders, you've got Fofana and Thuram. These two are incredible. Now, one thing I would say with the 2 midfielders, especially Thuram, is an incredible midfielder. I'm sure everybody that's done it knows how good he is. He's like a little mini Hullet. You want in this position, you want those type of midfielders that can intercept the ball, that are just quite big, and they're difficult to play around. They always seem to make interceptions. You don't necessarily need attacking midfielders here, because obviously the wing backs are attacking. So the midfielders, you want proper, tough gladiator type midfielders, your Vieiras, your Fofanas, your Thurams, your Pogbas. Players like that in that midfield slot is what you want. You want those proper gladiators in midfield, just there to break up plays, stop counterattacks, and just recycle the ball. They're the ones that ping the ball out wide, out left, play passes forwards. They don't do anything too complicated. They're there is just to kind of sustain attacks when maybe it breaks down. Moving into the central cam position, obviously we're playing Joe Cole in there. You do want a really good playmaker. So if you've got someone like an Alawaran, maybe you want to play him at striker. Personally, I'd play him in the cam slot. You want someone like a Kaká, a Cruyff, a Eusebio, someone like that in that position. They do get very good chances. They do get plenty of chances to score goals, but generally they're the ones that's the free man. So when the wingers, get forwards, or the wing backs get forwards and are running in behind, it's that cam position is the one that's then has the opportunity to shoot or play the pass or play it sideways or whatever it may be. So you do need someone that's got really good passing, good vision, good dribbling ability, but then can finish as well. So I recommend someone that's not got anything worse than obviously like a 4-star in that position. And then when it comes to the 2 strikers, of course, Mane and Mbappe, those 2 up front, obviously most people, will want to play with speed demons up front. This Mane card, I absolutely love this card. For me, best card I've used all year, in my opinion. I really, really like this card. But Mane and Mbappe, 2 quick strikers. Obviously, we've got that long ball tactic on, so you need runners in behind. If you're going to play long ball, it means you're going to need, pace running in behind. And of course, you've got players like Vanderson and Bale, the wing backs running in behind, supporting as well, sometimes playing through balls, sometimes playing crosses. So you need guys obviously that are quick in behind, but of course you need guys that are deadly in front of the goal, because they're going to spend most of the time, with obviously being stay central as well, most of the time in between the sticks. So you need obviously 2 guys that are competent. These 2 will link up really importantly as well. And obviously when Vanderson and Bale get through, they link up very, very well with those wing backs. So it's just a really good formation, and just this setup, the instructions, the tactics, the players, the play style, it all blends together. And that's when you find real good success when you're playing FIFA. Of course, you have to have the skill and the ability to make it all work and to actually create the chances and finish them and do everything in game. But a big portion of it is making sure that your play style lines up with your instructions and your tactics and your formation and just generally how you want to play. And we've found that blend with this formation. And that's why for us, in our opinion, this is the best set of tactics we have ever used. So we recommend giving it a try, trying everything that we said, the play style, the formation, just try it, immerse yourself in it, and I guarantee you will have a lot of fun. And that's the key. I've just had so much fun playing with this setup, and it's just such good fun, and I can't say enough good things about it. So as we said earlier in the video, if you do want to support us, make sure you do drop a thumbs up, make sure you do subscribe, make sure you click that notifications bell, and if you want to ask us any further questions, make sure you join our Discord. The link to that is down in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you